Hi, welcome to our podcast. Really hope you'll enjoy.
It's kind of wild, right? We still picture AI as this thing from sci-fi movies.
Yeah, spaceships and robots, that sort of thing.
Exactly. But when you really stop and think about it, it's already woven into the fabric of our lives.
Oh, absolutely. Our phones, cars, even our homes.
And the crazy part is the sheer speed at which it's all evolving. It really feels like we're at this crucial turning point, like a crossroads for humanity. The choices we make now, well, they're going to determine the future of civilization. It's a lot of weight.
It really is, and that's exactly why we're diving deep into this topic today. We want to break down the most important insights about where AI is headed based on the material you've given me. We aim to give you a clear path, a shortcut, if you will, to understanding where we are with AI right now and the emerging trends that are going to shape its future. It's a complicated field, constantly evolving, so we're here to help you navigate it.
Okay, so let's get right into it. I think a lot of us hear AI and we think, okay, Siri, Alexa, but it's obviously moved way beyond that, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's light years ahead of where it was even just a few years ago. I mean, we now have AI systems that are doing things we never thought possible, like surpassing human capabilities in a whole bunch of specific tasks.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Well, think about image recognition, like how accurate your phone is when it transcribes what you say. That's a testament to how far we've come. And then there's language modeling and translation. Those tools that can basically understand and create human-like text in different languages. It's mind-blowing.
Right. And haven't we seen AI actually beating top players in games like Go and chess? That always blows my mind.
Exactly. And it's not just brute force computation. These AI systems are showing us that they can actually think strategically. And beyond the games, we're seeing huge progress in areas like medical diagnosis. Specifically in radiology, AI can now analyze medical images with incredible accuracy. And then, of course, there's the whole world of coding assistants like GitHub Copilot. That and ChatGPT-4's code interpreter are changing the entire game of software development.
The sheer volume of examples is incredible. Like, I was reading about GPT-4, which can not only write code, but also summarize super complex legal documents and even pass professional exams like the bar exam.
It's unbelievable, right? And then there's DeepMind's AlphaFold. That's a big one. They managed to solve a really old problem in biology by accurately predicting the 3D structure of proteins.
And why is that such a big deal?
Oh, it's huge because it unlocks a whole new understanding of how diseases work and paves the way for developing new drugs much faster.
It's really mind-boggling when you think that just a few years ago, these things seemed impossible.
Oh, totally. And the thing is, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're just getting started.
Okay, so let's talk about the future. What are the big trends that are going to shape where all of this goes?
Well, the material you gave me highlights 5 key trends we should really understand.
All right, let's hear.
The first one, and probably the one that gets the most attention, is artificial general intelligence.
AGI. I've heard that term thrown around a lot. What does it actually mean?
Well, imagine an AI that's basically as smart as a human, not just good at one specific thing, but able to learn, reason, and problem solve across a wide range of areas just like we can. It's like a truly intelligent machine. And the thing is, leading AI labs like OpenAI, DeepMind, and Anthropic, they've made it clear that achieving AGI is one of their main goals.
Wow, that's ambitious. If they succeed, what kind of impact could AGI have on the world?
The potential benefits are massive. I mean, imagine a world where scientific discoveries happen at warp speed. AGI could be the key to curing diseases, solving climate change, and eliminating poverty. It could also lead to AI systems that can design even more intelligent versions of themselves, leading to this incredible cycle of self-improvement.
That sounds almost utopian, but I'm guessing there are potential downsides too, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. The text talks about some pretty big risks, like what happens if we create an AGI that has goals that don't align with our own? What if we lose control of it? And of course, there's always the potential for misuse, like any powerful technology. It's a lot to consider.
It really is. And what about the timeline? What are we talking about here?
Well, there's no clear answer on that. Experts have different opinions. But the text mentions that some surveys suggest AGI could emerge within the next 10 to 30 years.
So it could be sooner than we think.
Exactly. It's not just a sci-fi fantasy anymore.
Okay, so that's AGI. What's the next big trend?
The next one is automation, specifically how it's going to impact jobs. It's a topic that makes a lot of people nervous, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I can see why. Feels like robots are coming for our jobs.
Well, in a way they are. AI is going to change pretty much every industry you can think of. Transportation, for example, with self-driving cars and trucks becoming more common. Customer service, where AI-powered chatbots are going to be handling more interactions. And finance, where algorithms are already being used for trading and bookkeeping, that's only going to increase.
So there's a real chance of widespread job displacement.
There is. But here's where it gets interesting. While AI will eliminate some jobs, it'll also create new ones, jobs we can't even imagine yet.
Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom.
Right. There will be a need for people who can design, manage, and interact with these new AI systems. But the big challenge is going to be making sure people can adapt and transition into these new roles quickly enough. We need to be proactive about things like retraining and education. And we have to think about things like universal basic income as a safety net for those who might be left behind.
It sounds like we're going to need some serious societal adjustments.
We are. This isn't just about technology. It's about people and how we adapt to a rapidly changing world.
Right, what's the third trend on the list?
This one focuses on AI in healthcare. It's actually one of the most promising areas of AI development.
Oh, how so?
Well, AI is already being used to improve diagnostics and personalize medical treatments. There are AI models that can outperform human radiologists at detecting breast cancer from mammograms, algorithms that can predict heart disease years before symptoms appear, and language models that can help doctors plan treatments and communicate more effectively with their patients.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI could really revolutionize how we approach health and well-being.
It could. Just imagine a future where we have continuous monitoring through AI-powered wearables. Imagine AI helping us discover new drugs and treatments at an unprecedented pace. And some even believe AI could be the key to significantly extending human lifespan.
That would be amazing. But I guess there are also potential concerns, right? Like privacy and data security.
Oh yeah, those are huge concerns that we absolutely need to address. If we're going to be sharing our personal health data with these AI systems, we need to be sure that it's being used responsibly and ethically. And we need to be careful about potential biases in the data that these systems are trained on.
Okay, so a lot of potential, but some big challenges to overcome. What's the next trend we need to be aware of?
This one's a bit darker. It's the rise of synthetic media, which is basically AI-generated content that can be incredibly realistic, and the problem of misinformation that comes with it.
Oh yeah, deepfakes and things like that. I've seen some scary examples.
It's getting crazy how good these AI systems are at creating fake videos, audio, and even written content that's almost impossible to distinguish from the real thing. It's like, what can you even trust anymore?
That's the problem, right? If we can't tell what's real and what's fake, it erodes trust in everything. What are the potential consequences of this?
Well, just think about fake news and propaganda being spread on a massive scale. Imagine fake political speeches or news reports that look and sound completely authentic. It could undermine democracy, influence elections, and sow chaos and distrust throughout society. It's a huge threat.
What can we do to combat this?
The text talks about the need for regulations, watermarking technologies, and other tools to help us identify and flag AI-generated content. But it's going to be a tough battle because the technology is advancing so quickly. It's a constant cat and mouse game.
It's a sobering thought. So what's the last trend on the list? Hopefully it's a bit more optimistic.
It is, actually. This one is about human-AI symbiosis. Basically, the idea that instead of fearing AI, we should embrace it as a partner, a way to enhance our own abilities.
I like the sound of that. Tell me more.
Well, imagine brain-computer interfaces, like what Elon Musk's Neuralink company is working on. That could allow us to connect our minds directly to machines, opening up all sorts of possibilities for communication, learning, and even physical control.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, but it could become reality.
Yeah.
And then there's the idea of AI companions, which could be incredibly helpful for things like therapy, education, or just companionship.
AI friends. That's an interesting concept.
It is, and it raises a lot of questions about the nature of consciousness and what it means to be human.
It's fascinating to think about where this could all lead.
It really is. These 5 trends paint a pretty vivid picture of the potential future of AI, both the good and the bad. But the text also goes deeper, challenging us to think about the bigger picture, the broader implications of all of this for humanity.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but how it changes us as a species.
Right. AI is more than just a tool. It's going to fundamentally change how we think, how we work, how we interact with each other, and even how we define ourselves. The text raises some really big questions about power, ethics, and the future of humanity. Like, who controls the most powerful AI systems? Governments, corporations. What are the ethical implications of creating AI that's as smart or maybe even smarter than us? These are huge questions that we need to be thinking about and debating right now.
No easy answers there.
Not at all. And the text also touches on some personal fears about AI, things that keep a lot of people up at night. Like, what if we create an AI that we can't control? What if it becomes a threat to our existence? What if we lose our purpose as humans as machines take over more and more tasks?
It can get pretty dark.
It can, but it's important to acknowledge those fears and have open discussions about them. We need to be both excited about the potential of AI and cautious about the risks.
Absolutely. So after all of that, how does the text see the future of AI playing out?
Well, it presents both a best-case scenario and a worst-case scenario.
Okay, let's start with the good news. What's the best case scenario look like?
Imagine a world where AI helps us eradicate diseases, solve climate change, and personalize education for every child. A world where we have more free time to pursue our passions and connect with each other. A world where humanity reaches new heights of scientific and technological advancement, maybe even exploring the stars together. It's a pretty amazing vision.
I could get behind that future. What about the other side of the coin? What's the worst case scenario?
The worst-case scenario is a bit grim. It's a world where AI leads to mass unemployment, social unrest, and maybe even a loss of human control. Imagine a world where algorithms make all the decisions and humans are left behind. That's the kind of future we need to avoid.
It sounds like a cautionary tale.
It is. But the most important takeaway from all of this is that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to us to shape it, to make the choices that will lead us towards the best possible outcome.
So what can we do as individuals to ensure a positive future with AI?
Well, the first step is education. We need to learn about AI, understand its potential and its risks, and engage in informed discussions about its role in society. We need to be asking questions, challenging assumptions, and pushing for responsible development and use of this incredibly powerful technology.
You're right. Knowledge is power.
It really is. And we also need to think about the values we're instilling in these AI systems. If we want AI to be a force for good in the world, we need to make sure it's aligned with our values of empathy, compassion, and fairness.
It's a huge responsibility.
It is. We're the first generation to have the power to create minds outside of biology. That's both incredibly exciting and a little terrifying, but it's a challenge we can't ignore.
The text ends with a pretty powerful statement. It says, "We are the first generation with the power to create minds outside biology. We must also be the first to accept the responsibility that comes with that. The future of AI is the future of humanity. Let's make it one we want to live in."
That sums it up perfectly.
It really does. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left wondering, considering how quickly AI is advancing, what's the single most pressing challenge that we need to address right now to ensure a positive future with AI? And I'm talking about something that wasn't specifically mentioned in the text, but that arises from everything we've discussed.
That's a great question. And a tough one. I think for me, it comes down to building trust. Trust between humans and AI, but also trust among ourselves as we navigate this new world together. We need to be able to trust that AI systems are being developed and used responsibly, ethically, and fairly. We need to be able to trust each other to make wise decisions about how we integrate AI into our lives. Without trust, we risk creating a future filled with fear, division, and ultimately failure. So building trust, I think that's the key.
I think you're right. It's going to take all of us working together to make sure AI serves humanity, not the other way around.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining me. And for all of you listening, keep those questions coming, keep those discussions going, and let's work together to build a future with AI that we can all be proud of.